Hey everybody, I'm Ebony. This is Ebonee's Creativity. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I've really been enjoying thrifting at the bins lately, and so I've been kind of bringing you along with me as I'm thrifting. And then my last video, I did a couple DIYs to some of the things that I found in the bins, and this video will be the same. I'm not really like a big crafter, but I've been really liking crafting lately, and like I shared before, I don't really have space right now or time to flip. I'm adjusting to a brand new schedule. So I will be back flipping furniture. This is not turning into a thrift channel, but I'm just sharing with you things that I am able to put videos out about. So hopefully you like thrifting centered videos. If you do, please keep on watching. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And like the video if at any point in time you're finding it interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Let's hop right on into these projects. Here are the materials I'm going to be using for this next project. These I already have on hand, which is why this one looks a little funky, but I'm going to use it anyway. This came out the bins. This came out the bins. These came from Dollar Tree, so this is the only thing I've bought for this project. Of course, they are $1.25 each. And these I made from mix to mold for my previous furniture flip project. I had a few left over, so I'm going to use these for this project. So here is all the materials. Of course, I have a few colors, different paints and stuff like that, but these are the basic materials that we're going to be using today. I did get my beads out of the bins, but they do sell this exact same product at Dollar Tree. And what I'm doing now is just using my scissors to straighten out the loop that's keeping these beads on. And I'm going to be trying to remove as many beads as I need to fit around the circumference of one of my circles. When I'm being crafty, I don't mind getting my hands dirty, so I'm not going to waste my time trying to find a paint tray. I'm just going to roll my beads around in the paint and then sit them on this piece of cardboard to dry. They do sell these packs of beads in Dollar Tree that are not on a wire. I feel like you get more on the wire, so I'm glad that I have these. But if you want to recreate this project and you don't feel like wrestling with this wire, you can also just buy the package of beads at Dollar Tree. All right, so now these are all orange, and I'm going to sit this to the side. I've taken my dowels and I've cut them into pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and paint. I'm going to paint one set of them brown, and then these two sets I'm going to do in gold. One set in brown, and then my other set is in gold. If you don't have spare dowels sitting around, think about the things that you do have. If you have one of those tumbling tower games from Dollar Tree, and if you have an old used foam brush, you can use the stick from the foam brush and one of the tower pieces to recreate these hooks as well. Now I'm just going in with the paints that I already have on hand. That's why you see me trying to use spray paint as a regular paint. And I'm just going to use what I have to paint my molds. I have been making very good use of this mixed mold just because I bought too much for the project that I initially needed it for. And it's quickly become one of my new favorite crafting materials. So you leave me a comment and let me know what is a product that you have on hand that you really like when you're crafting. Next, I would like to try air dry clay, but I haven't had an opportunity to use that yet, but I'm going to check that off my list sometime soon. I'm not really worrying about covering up all the white from the molds that I'm painting. I want it to look kind of whimsical, kind of perfectly imperfect. Here, I'm just using some Titebond wood glue and some hot glue to go ahead and connect my square dowels with my circle dowels. And I have 3 sets of these, so I want to make sure they're all the same. So I'm just using the edge of my little board here as my spacer. The wood glue has a longer dry time than the hot glue. So why I'm using the 2 of them is because the wood glue will be a stronger hold over time when it dries, but the hot glue will hold it into place right now until the wood glue has a chance to dry. Here are all 3 of my hooks assembled together. Next, I'm going to find the center of my wooden plank, and I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole completely through the middle. Then I'm going to drill a hole in the center of the circular dowel on all 3 sets of my hooks. Now I'm going back in with my wood glue and hot glue combination to glue my circles onto my board. I did want these to be equal spaces apart, so I started with the middle one, but I'm just eyeballing it. I didn't measure, so it may not be exact. And now that my wooden circles are attached to my board, I'm going to go ahead and use that same drill bit that I made my previous holes with, and I'm going to just drill all the way through the back of the board. Then I'm going to stick a screw up from the bottom, so it will go from the back of the board up into my hook to secure the hook. I didn't really show this on camera, but I did add a wooden stir stick on the back of this just for a little bit more stability when I was attaching the screws. I just felt like it needed a little bit of something more just for a little bit more security, so I added a stir stick. And of course I repeated that process 2 more times so that all 3 of my hooks were attached. I am not very good at drawing. As creative as I am, I cannot draw to save my life. So I just did the best that I could to turn the brown hook into a football. And now I'm going to be attaching my molds onto the 2 circles on the end. And this will go in the bathroom where there will be 2 little girls and 1 little boy using it. And so that's why I decided to go with the different motifs that I picked. And now that my beads are dry, I'm just going to go ahead and use my hot glue as well as wood glue to attach those. I'm really using like the hot glue to attach the beads to each other and then the wood glue to attach the beads onto the circle. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry, this is slightly out of focus. I'm doing the best that I can to make my video quality better, so just work with me. Off camera, I turned my orange beads into basketballs. I printed some names out on my Cricut, and here are the final finished images for this project. Here are my 2 Goodwill candle holders that I got recently from the retail store. I cut out these 2 pieces of wood because I want to replace this black backing piece. I really feel like that's what makes it look old. So I'm just going to replace that on these. I knew that I wanted these to be black, so I started looking for inspo. I saw this and then I saw these, and I didn't really know which way I wanted to go, but I just decided to start out with a coat of black chalk paint on both of the new backing pieces that I cut out, as well as on both candle holders. If you don't have a saw and you want to duplicate this, they do sell wooden plaques at Dollar Tree that you can use for your backing pieces. If you didn't see the video where I hauled these, it was a comparison of how much you can get for $20 in the outlet versus how much you can get in the Goodwill retail store. So I will link that video below. I really enjoyed doing that video, so hopefully if you haven't watched it, you will check it out. I was really surprised that a couple of you also thought that these candle holders were really nice. I thought y'all were going to think they were ugly and that I was crazy for buying them. So I'm glad that a few of you also saw the beauty in these as well. For the most part, these were pretty easy to pull apart, thankfully. One of the little dowels did give me a hard time, but I was able to get it out eventually. But the rest of them just pulled right apart from the plaque, so I was happy about that. Then I kind of made like a little sandwich with my new backing piece and the 2 old ones. The one on top is helping me determine where to place the holes, and the one on the bottom is helping me not to go through my little makeshift table here. And it looks like I used the right size drill bit and the dowels are fitting in my new backing piece perfectly. So now that I have added the dowels into my new backing piece, I'm going to just pop the candle holder onto the dowels. Everything fit really snugly, so I didn't really see a need to add any glue to hold them in place. It seemed to hold just fine. So now that my candle holders are reassembled, I am going to go ahead and use some rub and buff to add a little bit of gold on the edges as I see fit. There's not really any rhyme or reason to how I'm adding this. I'm just kind of putting it on the tip of my finger and hitting the raised areas that I feel like hitting. And I don't want it to look perfect. That's why I'm just using my finger. I want it to look kind of aged. I don't want it to look brand new. I want it to look like kind of distressed with the rub and buff. So that's the look that I'm going for. I made both of these look pretty similar, as similar as I could without being extra exact. And I went ahead and added a coat of polyacrylic in a satin finish when I finished, but I did that off camera. And here is the final finished look of these candle holders. I really like how these turned out, and I know that they will look perfect for the project that I want to style them in, so I will be showing that at a later date on the channel. I'm not quite sure when, because that's going to be kind of a bigger project that these will be a part of, but you can leave me a comment and let me know which project was your favorite. Did you like the wall hooks, or did you like these candle holders better? Look forward to seeing me styling both of these projects in upcoming videos, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you have the time, please select another one of my videos to watch from the choices on your screen or in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.